the benefits, and so they were on it more. Let me quickly move this conversation just a notch higher, and talk about ideology and governance. Yesterday I was having a conversation here with my colleague Ivy, and I was telling Ivy that Corona is the biggest argument for socialism when you think about it. No, Doc, think about it for a minute. Coronavirus, COVID-19 is the biggest argument for socialism, because all the states that practice socialism, one way or the other, have structures in place already that can facilitate helping your people. So if it's about sending food around to the less privileged,
do that already.
Venezuela does that already.
But they're in trouble.
No, Doc, let's understand. Let's talk. Let's understand something. In Venezuela, people on a daily basis, the government sends food to people door to door already. Access. That system is already in place. So today, when we are in a global pandemic, having access to the people and sending them food is a no-brainer. It's something we do already. So that it's not now that we are going to think, oh, let's look at our address system. Let's look at this. How are we going to do that before we sit on the drawing board and do this? That's my point. Let's look at healthcare.
The alternative.
Which country is going around offering assistance to other countries in healthcare? Cuba.
Well,
Cuba.
I'll talk.
So for me, this is the time. This is the time that perhaps as a people we need to sit up and get serious. You see, we talk about these ideologies and we talk about these things, so socialism or capitalism or this or communism, this. I hope the world can see, I hope we can all see for ourselves that when we talk about socialism and the benefits there are and how is the natural way of living, this is what we mean. This is it. But taking care of your own. There can be nothing better than taking care of your own. There's no ideology that can come close to socialism. In what way, in what context, in what form?
When you're
the arguments have always been about, all the superficial. When you think, how can you even compare living under capitalism and living under socialism? People will talk about democracy and fanciful things like that. That's an argument I'm ready to have.
I think just a point of...
Quickly, then I'll come to... Quickly.
Russia is assisting, China is assisting, other countries are... It's just a matter of the situation. So,
but these are these are socialist countries.
Let me.
Russia, China, Cuba.
The issue blew up in China
clearly,
and they are going out because of the experience they have with the condition.
Clearly,
okay. And then Cuba is stepping out because they are making a case.
Wait.
What case are they making?
They are making a case that their health system can help, and they are lending a helping hand.
Can their health system help?
Are
they making a true case? Is it false? Case they are making.
We're waiting. I think I believe that universal health care is important. Don't get me wrong. I believe in that firmly. But the thing is, when we extend this to entire ideology of socialism, that's where sometimes I might not be.
No problem.
Because, I for instance,
China has shown us that, indeed.
China as it stands now, if you look at Jack Ma, you cannot say China is a 100% socialist country. Because things have changed. The socialism that we knew in the 1940s is not the same now. China has multi-millionaires.
Yeah, but I think it's a relationship between government and its people. The extent to which government will go to ensure that the people, are comfortable.
Because Chile practices what? Chile, what do they practice?
Look, you tell me.
I think they do socialist, and they are not anywhere.
You understand the arguments I'm making.
Your argument will go better if we are talking strictly about universal health care.
But we are talking universal health care.
That is not socialism.
No.
But this is a debate. This is an argument we are getting to.
So delivery.
No. I mean,
in the Americas, they deliver newspaper to every house. Okay, every house. So and they deliver milk to the houses.
But those are social interventions.
No. Let's not confuse the two.
What I'm just saying is that
if I go and order,
no.
If I go and order for mail online and they deliver the mail to my house, that's not socialism.
No,
that's what I'm talking about.
To make a point.
Does the government take
socialism in terms of the
government taking care of its own?
Where what we have is for all of us. Where we are trying to build an equal and equitable society. That's what I'm talking about.
Equity can be built in so many ways. But forgive me, I'm of the thought, and forgive me, I believe in hard work. A lot of hard work.
Socialism believes in hard work. A lot of hard work.
Pardon me here. I believe in hard work and people being rewarded for it.
Absolutely.
And there's an element of socialism that puts you where you are. You earn what you earn without.
Okay, so let's analyze what Doc is saying. Please, let's analyze what Doc is saying.
I think
please let's analyze what Doc is saying. Let's talk about hard work. Nobody works harder than the construction worker. Let's understand some fundamentals. Let's appreciate that.
I won't agree.
Nobody works harder than the construction worker. So if it's about hard work, if hard work is what should reward you, then the richest people should be the people who actually work hard.
If
and work hard
from economic terms.
Please, let's appreciate the
productivity is not a matter of let me say muscle.
So productivity is a matter of having the privilege to have had the best of education, right? Is that what we are saying? Because the person who sits at the top is not necessarily the person who works the hardest. Sometimes the person who sits at the top sits there because he's privileged.
We may digress, but let me just explain
let's stay on course.
A few simple things.
Let's stay on course. I think
it's on education.
Ahmed's argument is on education.
Yeah.
Ahmed's argument is that it's important for the world to begin to realize the importance of socialism and how it is playing out. It's playing out, in this times of crisis. Bear in mind that we are in a global world, which means global crisis. Now, global crisis also means that there's a global responsibility, all right? But we do know that all these superpowers have a certain polarized mentality about how they can control the resources of the world. And we're saying that assertion now has been thrown to the dogs, because when it became imperative, we have seen that the very people that they've looked down upon in terms of healthcare delivery, in terms of employing social interventions, etc., are the ones who are actually leading the struggle in addressing this particular challenge that we're faced with.
I'm not done.
You're not done, but
I didn't even finish.
Okay, then finish.
And I'm back on socialism. I'm not moving away from socialism. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay here for a minute.
Stay on there.
In capitalist societies, or the capitalism ideology.
I like capitalism, though.
I know you
obviously,
do.
I'm not PP, man.
I know you do. Doc, I know you do. But perhaps this is a time for you to re-examine the ideology that you belong to, the ideology that you love. And look at humanity at its core. Because yesterday, Dr. Akwesi was telling me on the show, our chief psychiatrist was telling me on the show that coronavirus is a leveler. Now your money doesn't matter, your qualification doesn't matter, whoever you are doesn't matter. Now we are all the same. Now we are all scared of a disease that could literally wipe us all off. We are all locked up in our rooms. Nothing matters. It's back to the basics. We are back to the basics. It's me fighting for my life, you fighting for your life. And now that we are back to our basics, now that we are back to how God intended it, I hope, we realize that the way to go is that I look out for myself and I look out for you, that we look out for each other. And so for me, this is the biggest vindication of socialism, because now we appreciate that nature at its core, at its essence, can only thrive on socialism and nothing else, because the socialist countries are winning. It's the socialist countries that are winning in this instance.
So
the capitalist countries are losing. Here, let's talk healthcare.
Can I make my point?
Let's talk healthcare, though. You brought up healthcare. A healthcare system that runs on profits, which is what a capitalist healthcare system would be.
I said universal
A healthcare system that runs on profits would definitely not be in the interest of the people. Socialism is not about laziness. Socialism doesn't advocate that I don't work hard. Socialism advocates that I work hard, that you work hard and we all benefit from the fruits of our labor.
Okay. Right.
In fact, it advocates that in cases where I am weak, you come, because we can't all be at par. I'll be weak in some places, you will be stronger in some cases. I might be stronger than you might. So we complement each other. Now, capitalism, what capitalism fails to appreciate is that at its core is inequality. At its center is inequality. That's at the heart of capitalism.
No,
because based on the family that I'm born into, and these are things I have no control over.
I beg to differ.
Based on where I'm born to, geographical location, family, whatever, I will be advantaged over the next person.
Can I cite some examples?
And capitalism gives me that unfair advantage.
Can I cite some examples?
I think we don't
want to digress, but let me
we have digressed
here. Even though